It is another episode of What's Up Wednesday. We've got some great questions on store. Yesterday was Tuesday. Don't forget the live Marketing Coach Show where you can chat with me in real time. It's available every Tuesday at 60secondmarketing.com at 2 p.m. Central Time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So what I'm going to do is each time we do a live Marketing Coach Show, I understand there's scheduling conflicts and not everybody can make that. I'm going to put up the current show on 60secondmarketing.com. And it's listed under past episodes. So if you go over to past episodes, for 1 week, you can watch the current week's show. At the end of that week, next Tuesday, when we record another show, that show's coming down and the new one's going up. So if you want to stay current, you want to stay on top of those things, I'm going to give you a whole week to catch up on the past show. So buzz on over to 60secondmarketing.com and take a look at that, what information we had to offer for you yesterday. On the Marketing Coach Show, we've got some exciting shows coming up. We want you to be a part. I want to invite you so you don't miss out on those things. So without further hesitation, you know it's What's Up Wednesday. We get your questions. The contest is still running. There's still time. If you have a question for me, to email it to me at tim@coachtimdavis.com. If I answer it on the air or if I answer it back in email, either way, if you get it emailed in, your name goes in the hat and we're drawing for a free coaching call. It's a $300 value, absolutely free if you're the winner. Last month's winner got a lot of tremendous value out of their call. It was a great call for them, so they were really excited and they're going off to do some major things that we discussed on that call. So if you want to have a free coaching call, how do you get one? It's simple. You send me a question, tim@coachtimdavis.com. It goes in the hat, whether answered here or answered back in email. So without further hesitation, let's jump right into today's What's Up Wednesday questions and find out what's on the mind of loan originators all across the country. All right, here we go. First question comes from Sue. Sue says, hey, Tim, what is the number one characteristic of a top producer in your opinion? Wow, that's a great question. I've got to tell you, I think it's desire, heart. If you don't have the desire and the heart, the technical skills can be learned. We can teach somebody how to do a good faith estimate. We can teach somebody, a method to market. We can teach somebody, a script to call people or a script to meet people. Those things are all the technical aspects that can be taught about this business. We can teach you how to run LP. We can teach you how to run DU. But if you don't have the heart and the desire, then you know what? All that technical stuff is just going to go to waste. Let me tell you exactly what I mean. I had the privilege of speaking to over 200 CEOs of credit unions about 3 months ago at their convention, and my topic was, how to get your mortgage business up and going. And what I told those CEOs was that in 14, 15 years of originating loans, I have never once ran across an originator that I had to compete with on a mortgage loan from a credit union. And what that simply told me was they didn't have the heart and the desire to go after mortgage loans, because if they did, I would have run across those people more. And then I went on further to tell them that basically if I did run across them, I would crush them, because my desire to get that deal was bigger than their desire to get that deal. Now, I know a lot of people teach on maxing your profitability, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that works for some people. I teach on maximizing your database. Everybody that can go in your database is valuable. So if I've had to cut my costs along the way or shave some rates down along the way to get a deal, to make it work, to get in my database, I did that. And I'm enjoying the fruits of that labor today in a very difficult market. We're only having to work about 4 days a week. We're getting Fridays off. We're going to play golf. It's really a result of great relationship building over the course of the last 15 years. And that was a direct result of my heart and desire to get in there and make that happen. So, yeah, would I cut some costs to get a deal in? You better believe I would. Because here's the thing. There's two things I want to say to you. Number one, if you watch the U.S. Open, Tiger Woods and Rocco, they were battling back and forth. And Rocco had a very good comment at the end of it. He said, you know what? There's a lot of ways to make par on a hole. Tiger might be hitting a 6-iron, and I might be hitting a 3 hybrid. I don't care if I have to use a bigger club to get there. As long as I get there, they don't count the number of clubs I used. They count the number of strokes that it took me. So I thought that was a great comment. So there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. My preferred way of skinning a cat is I'm taking the deal down at all costs. If you're on the other end, I'm sorry, you're just going to, I told the CEOs, I said, I'll do it for free just so you can't have it, because it's worth that much to me in my database. Now, some of you probably just had a heart attack right there and said, I cannot do that. And that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I've only done a handful of those. But what I'm trying to say to you, gang, is that you do whatever it takes to get the deal done. And if it means cutting your commission check a little bit, that's fine. It's not going to hurt you. It's going to pay you huge dividends down the road. We talk about giving the customer value a lot. And we know about our systems and we know about our processes, but the customer, until they really experience that, they have no idea. So what I knew in my heart of hearts was, if I could take a customer from start to finish through my process, they would be so amazed and so wowed, they would refer their friends and family and they would come back for more business. And that's exactly what happened. And my price point increased each time they came back because price was no longer an issue. They knew what to expect. So if you run into those situations about price, that's exactly what I did. So I think that comes down to heart and desire. That's the number one characteristic that I believe. A lot of people say they want to do things. I talk to a lot of people that say they want to have a better career, they want to have more business, but what they really mean is it would just be nice if, because the want requires a sacrifice, and the sacrifice is just too much for some people to pay. I'll do the deal, put you in my database, give you an absolute wowing experience, and you'll come back for more and more and more. And I've proved that time and time and time again in my own business. So, it's like I've always told people, I can only coach and teach on what I've done. Not to say that other people don't have good systems, they do, but that's what's worked for me. So, Sue, I hope that helps you out. Heart and desire, it's the number one characteristic. It's gut check time, certainly, out there in the business. Okay, I got another one came in off of email, so I didn't print it out. I'm just going to read it right off the screen here. This comes from Michael Wolf, and Mike is a brand new listener to the Marketing Coach Show. Welcome aboard, Mike. We appreciate it. Be sure to share that with your friends and family out there. He says he's in the beginning stages of planning a first-time homebuyer seminar with his local association of real estate agents. He wants to use this as an excuse to meet with some top producers. He wants to know how I would suggest to go about doing this. He doesn't want to ask for their business and doesn't want to invite them as a sponsor. He just wants to show them his ambition, his knowledge, perhaps ask their advice on what to include in the presentation. Well, Mike, I was wondering when I read through this question, I'm going to give you some advice here. The first thing I thought is, the first-time home buyer seminar, are you going to be teaching realtors what to look for, or are you going to be going after the end user, the buyer? That was my first question. But I think you're kind of on the right track with what you said as you kind of wrap things up. Sometimes we answer our own questions as we sort of talk them out. You said in the very end, perhaps ask their advice on what to include in the presentation. Listen, everybody loves to give their 2 cents. Everybody loves to give their 2 cents. I think it's a great thing, a great icebreaker to contact some local top agents. And here's exactly what I would do. I would contact them. You got to put on the right mindset, which I think that you're doing there. Too often we put way too much pressure on ourselves that if we're going to contact a top producer and they turn us down for business, then that's the end of our career. That's the wrong mindset. It puts too much pressure on you. I think you're going about it the right way. Contact some local producers in your area and let them know. Say, hey, listen, I'm planning an event. It's a first-time homebuyer seminar. I would like to interview you and get your opinion on the state of the mortgage industry, the state of the real estate industry, some advice that you would have for first-time home buyers. Would you be open to giving me 5 or 10 minutes of your time and let me conduct a little interview with you about that? I guarantee you that these top producers are going to carve out a few minutes to do that, especially when you approach them that way. My mom used to always say, you get more bees with honey rather than vinegar. So you kind of sweeten the pot a little bit. If somebody wants to get something from me, all they got to do is say that they appreciate what I do. They want to hear my opinion. It's very simple. I'm more than willing to share. And top producers in the real estate community are going to be willing to do the same thing. So approach them exactly what you're saying here, and then make sure, Mike, this is so critical, you have a follow-up system in place that's going to allow you to drip on them in a multitude of ways. I